We should get a wider like this of you too.
Our stuff is not like it's not stagnant on one level.
Yeah.
It's not just one medium. Like, you know, when people are like, yo, what is Frank? And you know how every time I have to be like, oh yeah, he's a bodybuilder, filmmaker, violence. People are like, wait, what the fuck is that? But they don't understand, like, it's all about the layers and the integration of the different things and like the interaction between our different mediums.
Do you know why we have layers though? Because like, if you push the thought to its extreme, you have to jump out of that layer to look at that layer from another layer. It's just by default that our stuff is meta because we keep pushing it. Like we're playing with medium and we're playing with thought. Like thought is a medium itself. Like the mind is a medium that contains all our work, and we're fucking around with that.
Okay, that's what art should be. You're playing with people actually. You're playing with people and you're trying to stimulate them. Like, actually, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Oh God, I'm tired to go hurt this shit.
So I'm unboxing GoPros and showing while they're Skrillex and famous people are making like millions of dollars making beats.
Is that new?
We're gonna bring this to the club tonight. Film girls. The GoPro is so small, it's literally part of your brain, and like your brain, it's a black box. You don't get to see what you film until after you film it. And the only thing that you can film is what you see with your mind's eye, making everything that we film more raw and closer to actual perception. I'm leaving pieces of my brain in places that I see are aesthetic or that I find meaningful, and it's almost like leaving, breadcrumbs, over on the ground when you're walking around in the forest, so that people can see and discover your trail and they can follow your footsteps and sort of see the world as you saw it. And when I put the GoPro down, this area that gets filmed, whatever, becomes illuminated. And upon perception, the audience's brain also gets illuminated by that part of the world, which means that my GoPro, which contains my brain, is now inside yours. Tell them what we're gonna do right now. We just got to Taiwan. We're gonna shoot a CD cover.
Oh yeah, so today we're gonna shoot a CD cover.
Are you gonna play tonight? Taiwan is nicknamed the best kept secret in Asia. It's also called a ghost island. And for some reason, the girls in Taiwan are much more receptive than the girls in America. They're more like blank slates that you can write whatever you want on them. Which also means that they're more open-minded. I think the nightlife in Taiwan is one of a kind. It has this island mentality where it's sort of the K-hole of the world that you get stuck into. A lot of foreigners come here just to party, and they never leave. Just marry a Taiwanese girl and
Not only can you drink in 7-Eleven on the street, you can, in clubs, a lot of them is like all you can drink.
The reason why alcohol is so pervasive in Taiwan is because the laws against all other drugs are so hard that people have no choice but to turn to alcohol to alter their consciousness. Because as human beings, we all have this innate or intrinsic need to alter our minds, much like the way we desire food and sex for our survival, because this ability to consciously experiment and play with our brains was precisely what stimulated its growth in complexity over time, which ultimately gave us the edge on the evolutionary race to survival. And rave culture then can be quite spiritual in the sense that people collectively alter their consciousness as a group. This makes DJs a kind of this modern shaman leading a kind of ritual through dance and music, synchronizing people's brains to dissolve boundaries and transcend individual egos. The shaman was already a cyborg for his instilling his consciousness into the machines to synthesize every instrument in the material world with thought alone, resulting every time he plays in the rave in a collusion between artificial intelligence and primary instincts.
Yeah, right now this is my school, my high school. I went here for 12 years. Like as soon as I moved here, I went here from age 6 to 18. 还没很快红了，对，就是今年，你们知道 Skrillex 是谁吗？就是世界最有名的 DJ， 不，今年找到我可以写下来给你们。可是我2月要出那个 EP。This is Jam? Wait, check it. I don't know if it's locked. Not Jam, the fitness room. Fitness room. Oh, this is perfect. I don't want to. Wait. Is that JT?
Up! Good job.
We can leave Frank here.
Yeah, we'll just leave Frank. He's got GoPro.
Okay, he's gonna stay here and work out with you guys. I'm gonna go. That was actually really good.
It was really fucking awkward though.
Why was Frank so mad?
Wait,
was he mad?
He was upset. But it's just Frank. It's like he gets in his he needs something at that point in time and he just panics.
Just in general, all the time, like we just witness people like just being run by programs, like, you know.
Could you imagine just doing one job for at least like 20 years?
Like those kids, they're like just pretty much adding more programs into their minds, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's okay, but I think education, the education system, like schools need to have some kind of de-loading, like a deload class, just a class where you get a daydream, or like a class where you get to like dance, or a class where you get to like you meditate, because meditation is like subtracting process. It's like
we talked about this before, like a long time ago, but just like with the classical thing, you gotta learn
and then unlearn. Yeah. We talked
so
about it.
The best thing to do when you're creating unique shit is probably to just forget.
You're going to the void.
Yeah, this is the void thing. This is
where you came from.
This is actually where I was creating. I wasn't even really like influenced in school much. Like this is where I really grew. Yeah. A little before my mom passed away, like, that year was when I, like, really opened up, and
really wanted to do good because like, yeah, my parents were always like, that's one thing like they always did, like they always had good hearts and they were always like giving to other people and like, yeah, like now when I look, like when I date girls, like I no longer look for the same things because
近一点，你近一点。我看不懂啦，我看不懂啦。
We're here at near Josh's house, in this beautiful pond.
This is my pond.
It's a lot of water. So I think we like water because water is like one piece of information. Like if you look at like a city, or if you look like everyday life, today's life, the space is divided. Yeah, it's fragmented by the concept, by the thinking mind.
Yeah.
So basically, you fragment everything, and then like you cut everything to pieces.
Yeah.
So like you don't really see things in themselves. What you see is concepts that have been cut out, that's been embedded into our mind with culture and our education and language. And then we like water at sunset because it's like a transcendent experience. We see water and if you see waves, if you see like waterfalls, or if you see at sunset, you can't really divide it.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, this piece of the water, this drip is like called that, and that part of the water is called that. Everything's one. So you go to the Zen meditative state where you sort of transcend like language and barriers and like the concept of boxes. And you see things. We shot this video here like almost exactly a year ago. Yeah. Tell me about this year.
Dude, this year kind of fucked with my mind. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like the disconnect and discord just because like I'm around so many people. But I want to find the water again. For the past half year, I collabed with a lot of dope people, made a lot of crazy shit, but it's still not as fluid, not as like real, not as like whole as my old pieces. Yeah.
They're both good in their own way. Because I remember you told me like, I remember this one night when you said like, oh, this is my new style. It's gonna be like primal shit, right? Yeah, it's actually like you did it.